walked in these doors and recommitted my life to Christ, I was nothing but a nasty, dirty sinner. I was what you wouldn't take a double look at. I had just made a bad name for ourselves, and our marriage was falling apart into pieces. My husband was in jail, and I was at my mom's house. During those years of our marriage, most of them were abusive, drug-related. Everything that we did, we consumed ourselves to try to fill that void in our lives that we couldn't figure out what to do when all we had to do was turn our lives over to Christ. But we just made a big mess. We would hit dead ends and U-turns. And so I just wanted to share that to let some of y'all know where I was at when I first walked in these doors. And just to share with y'all, the other day, my dog ran off and he came back and he was covered in horse manure. He stunk horrible. And I just wanted to scream and holler, and I picked him up by his 2 feet, and I'm sticking him in a bathtub, and I'm just looking at him like really wanting to get him. And I said, in that moment, just with something as simple as that, the Lord showed me that's how I was, and that he still loved me, and he cleaned me up. And as much as he had to clean me up, and he's still cleaning me up to this day, that he still loved me, and that he had compassion for me, and that he had mercy on my life, and that he chose me to make a stand. But when I wake up in the morning and I choose to serve the Lord, and I choose to love my husband, and I allow God to come into my life, and out of the whole world, there's a lot of false. Most of everything's false, but I tell you, the gospel of Jesus Christ is the truth. That's the only one truth that they have in the world to stand on. It's the only thing to turn to. You can't turn to nothing else that's going to fill the void. You might try to fill it in drugs or lust or pornography or whatever it is that you try to fill that void with, but I'm going to tell you, all it's going to lead us to more heartache and more pain than you could ever imagine. And when all of a sudden you know the truth, you can't turn back to that junk, because that junk's just going to eat you alive. It's going to cause spiritual death. It's going to cause physical death in your life. And that's not what the plan God has and purpose he has for your life, because he has a plan and purpose for every single person that is here tonight. That we should not perish, that we should turn to Christ, that we need to bring the kingdom back, and that we need to see souls and go reach out and see the lost. Every time I see a person on the side of the roads in Reserve, LaPlace, where it is, I'm crying out loud. In the morning when I wake up, I'm crying out loud for their souls. Every person that the Lord ever had me in contact with in my life, and I was in the slums, and I was on the sides of the street walking before, that's exactly where I was at. And you know what? That's just where the Lord had me at that time, to show me the compassion that I have now for others, that I can fight and win and war for their souls. And I tell you, every morning I cry aloud for every single soul that he puts on my mind, that I have crossed paths with. And you know what? I have a burning desire for souls. I lost 2 brothers they just got caught up in sin in their life, and I watched them do drugs, and I just watched them snowball into one thing, into another, and try to get right, try to get free. But that sin caught up with them, and the toll that it was death at a young age. Both 49 and 45 years old, they passed away. And you know what? I have a burning fire underneath my feet to not see another person die at a young age. And you know what? I will make a difference. And every single person in here will make a difference. And we will see them come back to the Lord and serve the Lord. Because if the Lord could do it for me, then he can do it for anybody, because I'm no better than anybody else. So I just want to thank him and praise him for the restoration in my marriage, for just putting us back together piece by piece, and for just all the things that he has done, a total amazing healing within my life. And knowing that the void that I once had is filled with him every day of my life as I walk it out, in him, as I choose to let him do the work that he needs to do in my life. So I just want to thank and praise his name, and I'm like burning. So I ask y'all to burn with me in Jesus' name.